Well, good morning, welcome back. Hope you all had a good Christmas and a good New Year. Well, as you can see, it's a bit of a different pike trip for me. I'm in a pike match. It's on Newport Pagnell's water. I've fished a match here 2 years ago, maybe 3. I think I come about 3rd, maybe 4th, something like that. But yeah, I thought I'd record it and see how we get on. I'll talk you through a few things as we go. But yeah, the pegs have all been drawn. I didn't get the lake that I wanted. I'm on Big Pit. I wanted Sun Trap, but there is a blessing in disguise. The peg that I picked is my tench peg that I know where all the bars are and everything else. But what I have just found out, it's quite shallow. But see how we get on. I am allowed to move after an hour, but I might stick it out. But it was meant to be overcast because there's not a cloud in the sky, so that might go against me because it's so shallow. But yeah, see how we get on. I'll come back to you. Yeah, so rods are all out. One on a paternoster and one on the bottom this time, not with the float. I've gone on the Kebab. Now, I've tried it a few times, but I've not had any fish on it. But it works. I've seen Mick Brown use this and it works. It works very good. It pops up. You put a little pop up above it and you put your bait down the bottom. But it's tremendous. I've just thrown some ground bait out, and what I'll do in a little bit, I'll talk you through how I make the ground bait. But I've put maggot out as well, like I normally do, around the paternoster. So we give them an hour, see how we get on. But I'll come back in a minute, and I'll talk about my sardine ground bait. Okay, let's have a chat about the ground bait. I've not used it for a long time, and the reason I made it is because the pit behind me has got a bit of flow in it, but I'm still going to use it in here. But the reason I wanted it with the flow is because as the ground bait breaks down, it moves away. So if there's any pike further down, they're going to come to your bait. But yeah, so how do I prepare it? Well, I get some sardines from the tackle shop. I use all 5. I cut the heads off. I keep the heads for, say, you know, if I go zandering or something like that, or for perch. But and I cut the tail off. I cut it into pieces and I put it in a blender. Now I went out and bought myself a blender because if you use the wife, she's not going to be happy. So yeah, I went out and bought my own. Yeah, I chopped 3 up to start with, and don't blitz it. Just chop, you know, chop. And I think I only did it about 5 times. You don't want it to be like all moist. You want bits in it, so they break away and they just fall away. And then what you do, you get yourself some pebbles from the garden, and only small ones, it's to help it sink and to give you a bit of distance. If you need to go distance, you can put it in a catapult and get it right out. But as you've seen, I'm only underneath this tree. But yeah, so make them into a ball, and I think with all the 5 sardines, I think I made about 8 balls. So that's going to be enough for one trip. And all you do, put them on a plate and put them in the freezer, and once they're frozen, put them in a bag. But there's no need to defrost them when you come fishing the next day or whenever you make them. Just throw them in the water and they will dissolve quite quickly, because if you think when you've got a frozen bait on how long that takes, with an hour it'd just be a pile of food on the floor or just bits coming up. But yeah, it worked for me at Savay big time, and that was in the early 80s when you could use a day ticket there. And yeah, there was some cracking fish out there. I'm going to see if I can dig out some pictures and I'll stick them up. If I can find some, I'll stick them up. But yeah, it works, it does work, but like I say, I have not used it for a long time. It's only because I was going to fish that one next door, which got a bit of flow, like I said, to bring the pike towards you. But let's see how we get on. It's only early. Okay, well, we're 2 hours into the match. I think there's 2 fish being caught. There's one not too far away from here, 9-pound one. It's not a bad fish, but the good thing is it's beatable. I've had no knocks. I think I'm going to come off the kebab rig. But what I am going to do is pop one up. I'll show you that with a fish on it in a minute. But yeah, it's a piece of wire tied on, as you can see. I'll show you quickly how you put it on. I'm going to suspend it about 1 foot off the bottom, I suppose. Where are we? There we are. So that in the mouth. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll stick it in the head. Be better in the head. And that in the fin. And that'll be popped up off the bottom. I don't know, about as much as the as good as a foot, I think. And hopefully that does it. As you can hear a van coming past now. But yeah, I'm going to suspend it up. Let's see how we get on. I'll put that out for an hour, and I'll put it back round where the ground bait is and see how we get on. The sun's still out. It clouds over, you know, and goes away, clouds over, goes away. But I'll try that and see how we get on. Okay, I've had a change round. I've stuck that other one out. While I've got it out, I'll show you the kebab rig. How that sits in the water is that way up. It's the wind blowing that. Yeah, it sits that way. It's only on a single treble, look. It sits that way up. It does settle nicely onto the bottom. But like I say, it hasn't worked for me yet, but it will do. That's the line just settling down, I think. But yeah, it's blowing a hoolie now. But yeah, that's the kebab rig. Okay, bit of an update for you. It's 12:30 now. 3 hours to go. The bloke behind me's just had one. That's on a different lake. I'm not sure how big it is yet, but the bloke that had the 9-pounder has now had a 12-pounder. So my reckoning, I need a 22-pounder to beat him. I'm out on the paternoster and one on the bottom. I'm just going to stick out 4 of these round it. It's right underneath the tree now, and I'm going to give that about an hour, and then I'm going to stick the drift float on, see if I can bring it in the bay. I'm on a edge, it's like that I am, on the lake. So there's a corner there. I'm going to see if I can blow it in. It's only about 4 or 5 foot, so if I set it at 4 foot, I should be about right drifting it round. And see if I can do it that way. And I suppose for the last hour I'll give you a bit of a wobble dead bait. But there's still time. They're still catching them, so there's no reason why I can't catch them. It's not over yet. It's gone overcast again. The sun come out. It's gone back in again. But yeah, see how we get on, and I'll come back to you. Okay, well, we're into the last hour of the match now. As you can see, I'm out on the float now. I've tried wobble bait, dead bait, but absolutely nothing. I think there's been 5 fish been caught. One bloke's had 3, and 2 other anglers have had fish. But if you manage to get a 6-pounder, you're coming into 2nd place. So it hasn't been lost yet. So I'll keep at it, see how I get on. Yeah, so no 20-pounder. I didn't catch one. I thought I'd finish the video at home because of the wind and the rain and all, you know, the noise of the wind. But I think the match was won with 29 pound in the end. I think he had 3 good fish. So yeah, never mind. I hope you like the content that I put into it with the ground bait and even the kebab rig. So like I said, I've not caught nothing on it yet. I've used it a few times, but it will work. I know it works. If it works for Mick, it'll work for me. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button, even hit the like. But yeah, if you like the ground bait, give us a shout. Tell me how how you get on with it. But yeah, there's another match at the end of January, and hopefully I'll see you soon.